Shalom. All praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham Kodash. Double honors to the apostles of Great Millstone who rule well, and salute to the hopeful elect, pushing this word in truth and sincerity with the hope of receiving mercy from Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai. Yahweh is the name of our Heavenly Father. That's who the world ignorantly calls God. Yahweh Shai is the name of his only begotten Son. That's who the world ignorantly calls Jesus. And the language those names can be uttered in is called the Paleo Hebrew, the ancient Hebrew, right? You so-called Negroes, Hispanics, Native Americans, and Latinos. We are the Israelites. That's according to the prophecies of the Holy Scriptures. Now, this is the brother Shamar from the GMS Jamaica camp. I have a quick excerpt or a quick video to play, and we'll get some precepts, because as we can see as time goes by that we're getting to the end of Esau's wicked kingdom. It's evident that we're approaching the end. The Lord gave us signs to look out for to determine the end. And even the members of Esau's family, even Edomites, they can see that this world isn't working out for them, because of course the elite of Esau, they keep the riches to themselves. And if it's up to those elites, there would be no one else on earth but them. Right, so let me just play what this Edomite is saying. Through the Spirit, this is an Edomite. And we'll get some precepts because the prophets know, and those who have the eyesight to see, those who have been blessed with the Rakah Kodash, the Holy Spirit, it's evident to them that, we're approaching the end. I pray this lesson is edifying.
I'm 57 years old, first time I've ever been homeless. It has opened up my eyes to how cruel the world can be. Yes, sir. If it was not for the African American community and the Latino community, I would have starved to death by now. Because white people are cruel and they're not kind. Black people have fed me, let me come in their home, gave me a shower, let me sleep on their couch, bought me underwear, socks, and clothes, and I'm so grateful to the African American community. God bless y'all. God bless you, man.
I hate to say this, but my own people, the white people, rude. Rude as can be. And the most giving people are the Mexicans and the black people. So this is something that I wanted to do too, is with the homeless and how homeless are treated. Because I'm like, when I get out of this situation, homeless are treated so bad. It's terrible. And I used to be that person that used to look down on people like that, but I'm like, wow, I'm just like them until I can actually witness and feel it and go through it. I'm seeing how it is. It's sickening.
How long have you, so today we're here in Las Vegas with Hope, and how long have you been in this, so your current living situation is?
I'm homeless right now due to a domestic situation. It was a violent domestic situation with my ex, and I'd gotten hit in the back of the head, and he was facing attempted murder, and he got off 3 years probation. Found out that he wasn't paying mortgage, so it put me in a homeless situation, and ever since, for probably like the last couple of years, I've been homeless now, so ever since, and I've been here in Vegas for 20 years.
Did you say you worked at the Bunny Ranch?
Doing like Bunny Ranch, I used to.
And what do you do there?
It's a brothel. It's a sex brothel, so, I worked there for a little bit and quit. But now I'm actually out of that too, so I usually try to tell people, anybody that wants to get involved into that, it's not for everybody.
And after being homeless for the last couple years, what's the most important lesson that you've learned?
Loyalty and friendships.
What age did you start doing drugs?
I want to say I started heroin 5 years ago. But I want to say when I was probably about 18, but I wasn't really strong into it until about 5 years ago.
And what was your life?
All right, I'll stop that right there. Esau's kingdom, it's laden with drugs, laden with debt, homelessness. Even his own people, they can't You know, they can't afford. Some of them can't afford to have shelter over their head. I mean, homelessness is rampant, man. Right? And the whole society isn't set up to benefit anyone in the long run, right? Except the elites who people pay taxes to, man, right? So that's a kingdom that can't last, man. That's a kingdom that can't last. And one thing that stood out to me in watching this video is both people that were interviewed, both that Edomite male and Edomite female, they made note that the only people that has been generous to them in their low situation, you know, are the ones that were traditionally low in the system, the so-called Mexicans, right, which is the northern tribe, Issachar, and the so-called blacks, which is the members of the southern tribe, Judah, Benjamin, and Levi, right? Those are the ones that have that compassion. Those are the ones that, you know, that should ultimately be ruling the world, because they have you know, they have that compassion. They have that to rule is to look out for people, and the Israelites naturally have that, man, for the most part. So this is Amos 3 verse 6, you know, because Esau's kingdom is coming to an end, man. Shall a trumpet be blown in the city, and the people not be afraid? Shall there be evil in a city, and the Lord hath not done it? Surely the Lord Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai will do nothing, but he revealeth his secrets unto his servants the prophets. And one of the secrets the Lord reveals unto his servants the prophets is the time of the end. The time of the end has been revealed, not the exact day per se, not the exact month, day, hour, you know, but the general time has been revealed to us. And, you know, uproars of the people, earthquakes in diverse places, you know, and we see similarities with how the Roman Empire went down. The monetary system, you know, was watered down. Same thing we're seeing happening in this system. This current modern day Babylon, when we see how the Roman armies were spread thin in different lands. Same thing we're seeing happen with Mystery Babylon the Great, which is America. They have army bases spread throughout. So they're spreading themselves thin, man. And the people are suffering, man. Even their own people are suffering. So the prophets can see that we're coming to the end, man. You know. Let me get 2nd Ezra 6 verse 7. Because better is coming. Eventually the Lord will set up one which is profitable. And as the two Edomites said in the video, the only people that showed compassion when they're in that low state were the so-called Mexicans, the so-called blacks, who both are the Israelites. You know, those are the ones that are more profitable. The Lord will eventually put them in charge. You know, and everyone shall rejoice in that day. Right? This is 2nd Ezra 6 verse 7. Then answered I and said, what shall be the parting asunder of the times, or when shall be the end of the first and the beginning of it that followeth? And he answered, and he said unto me, from Abraham unto Isaac, when Jacob and Esau were born of him, Jacob's hand held first the heel of Esau, for Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob's the beginning of it that followeth. The so-called white man is the end of the world, right? The end of the age, the end of the time, and his time is coming to an end. We see that the so-called white man is in power. We see that he's the one that owns the financial system, the banking system. He's the one that sets the laws, right? It's he's the ones that pushing LGBTQ. He's the ones that pushing all these laws, democracy. It's his philosophy that is going throughout the earth, right? And we see the negative impacts that, for the most part, his philosophy is having on the people, even his own people, right? So, but his time is coming to an end, and the Israelites, Jacob is the beginning of it that falls. The Israelites shall rule in his stead for eternity, right? The Israelites are the one that will replace Esau, right? And then the whole all the nations will breathe a collective sigh of relief once that happens, because the Israelites were ruling righteousness. This is Ecclesiasticus 10 verse 4. The power of the earth is in the hand of the Lord, and in due time he will set over it one that is profitable. You know, when the Israelites are ruling using the law, statutes, and commandments of the scriptures, you know, then the whole entire inhabited earth, they will realize that, hey, this is a profitable thing. They will see the benefits of living by the law, statutes, and commandments of the scriptures. They will see the benefits, you know, of a people that rule in righteousness, not always moving the goalposts, so to speak, and changing laws, changing this, changing that. You know, we're going to be consistent. And once the nations, you know, learn our laws and abide by the laws, they will say, hey, surely this is a wise and understanding people. They will see that one that is profitable is now in rule, and they will reap the benefits of being ruled by the Israelites. You know, there won't be homelessness like what you're seeing right now. You know, there won't be people sighing and crying for all the abominations like LGBTQ, because righteousness shall reign. You know, the whole earth, you know, there won't be that pollution that's going on around the earth under the watch of the so-called white man. All right? Everything will be restored into its proper order, which it was intended from its inception, from its origin. This is Job 14 verse 5. Seeing his days are determined, the number of his months are with thee. Thou hast appointed his bounds that he cannot pass. You know, and this is, you know, used to that a man, or this means that a man, you know, there's a time that a man is allotted to live and he can't go past that time. It can also be used to explain that, you know, there's a time when a nation is allowed to rule and they cannot go past that time. The Lord has already allotted a time that each nation was given to rule, and they cannot pass that time. And Esau's time is coming to an end. The bound of his rulership is coming to an end. Right? And at the end of his rulership, the Israelites will rule. This is Isaiah 46 verse 9. Remember the former things of old, for I am Yahweh and there's none else. There's none else. I am Yahweh and there's none like me, declaring the end from the beginning and from ancient times, the things that are not yet done, saying, my counsel shall stand and I will do all my pleasure. You know, the Lord has determined the allotted time that each nation shall rule. He declared the end from the beginning. And Esau's time is coming to an end, man. Finish with this. This is 2 Ezra 9 verse 1. He answered me then and said, measure thou the time diligently in itself, and when thou seest part of the signs pass, which I have told thee before, then shalt thou understand that is the very same time wherein the highest will begin to visit the world which he made. Therefore, when there shall be seen earthquakes and uproars of the people, you know, and this mass homelessness, this mass homelessness and this lack, you know, and eventually the lack of food, and all of this is gonna lead to like sedition, man. It's gonna lead to uproars of the people, right? Because people are not gonna take this line down forever, man. You know, I believe there's a saying that when the poor has nothing to eat, the poor will eventually eat the rich, roughly paraphrasing. Right? So there's going to be a tide, especially when homelessness gets to the point where, you know, that breaking point, where there's so many of them, so many homeless people that, hey, they're going to have nothing to lose. So that's going to ultimately lead to uproars of the people. Verse 4, then shalt thou well understand that the Most High spake of those things from the days that were before thee, even from the beginning. For like as all that is made in the world hath a beginning and an end, and the end is manifest, even so times Even so, the times also of the highest have plain beginnings in wonder and powerful works, and endings in effects and signs. You know, we're seeing the signs of the earthquakes in diverse places. We're seeing many uproars of the people, right? You name it. In Europe, we're seeing it. In South America, we're seeing it. In Africa, we're seeing it. You know, we're seeing things. When we look at geopolitics, we're seeing, you know, nations rising against nations. We're seeing the beginnings of World War III. We're seeing the charagma. We're seeing prophecy come to pass, man. The MOTB is here. Just needs the right false flag for it to be put in place, mandatory. Right? So we're seeing the signs, man. And things are poised for that grand finale. Eventually, it's going to be the nukes flying. You know, America is going to become that lake of fire that's prophesied. And of course, the elect of the Lord shall be saved in that day. You know, right before the destruction. You know. So Esau's wicked kingdom is coming to an end. And it's very important that it does. Because after that, the Lord shall put in place one that is more profitable, man. All the nations shall rejoice when the Israelites are in rule. Right? So all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh Ba'Shem Yashai, Ba'Shem Kodash. Double honors to the apostles of Great Millstone, and shalom to the hope for the elect. Shalom.